दिलों में प्यार की खुशबू तो होठों पर दुआ रखना दिलों में प्यार की खुशबू तो होठों पर दुआ रखना ईमान में वक्त से एक रिश्ता इश्क वफा रखना ईमान में वक्त से एक रिश्ता
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. Welcome back to Friday Sermon for Kids, where this week to talk about beloved Huzoor's Friday Sermon, I have to my right Haris and to his right is Monis. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, guys, and welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum assalam, Rabbi Sahib.
Jazakallah ahsan jaza for making it, guys. So, dear audience, beloved Huzoor, may Allah be his helper, continue talking about how the book of Islam, that is the Holy Qur'an, has the best teachings of all books.
फ़ातिहा में इहदिना सिरातल मुस्तकीम की तालीम की और फरमाया कि तुम दुआ करो कि अल्लाह हमको सिरातल मुस्तकीम की हिदायत फरमा। ये दुआ भी दी और हिदायत फरमाने की जब दुआ दी तो इसका मतलब वादा भी किया कि मैं सिरातल मुस्तकीम पे चलाऊँगा। फिर फरमाया कि वो सिरातल मुस्तकीम जो उन लोगों की राह है जिन पर तेरे इनाम व इकराम हुए।
So, dear audience, we are going to be learning about the glory and the superiority of the Holy Qur'an. We'll get into that, but before that, I come over to my panelists, whom I have to ask, what are your newly learned points this week?
This week, I learned that the promised Messiah salam, studied the Bible and found that the teachings that Christians take pride in are actually completely covered in the Holy Qur'an.
The new thing I learned this week was that Friday is also Eid because we go to the mosque at Friday and get freshly ready for the Jummah prayer.
Jazakallah ahsan and jazaa. There were some very thoughtful points you guys remembered. We'll get into the details of that, but before that, of course, we have to go over to you, dear audience, for which we take you straight to Kids Take.
If you truly follow the Quran, you can be Allah's friend.
Pyare Huzoor mentions that the promised Messiah studies the Bible and its teachings are completely covered in the Holy Qur'an. Pyare Huzoor said that ever since the Holy Qur'an was revealed, none have been able to present anything comparable to its beauty. Pyare Huzoor said that in the Holy Qur'an we find nothing but truth.
The promised Messiah Islam states, the Quran is the way to God. It is the word of God. Without it, the garden of spiritual knowledge is incomplete. According to Hadith, Huzoor also mentions the great sacrifices of his Sahabas.
Jazakallah ahsan jazaa. Dear Kids Take presenters, remember, if you did not send in a video this week, make sure to send one in next week. We love to hear your points. Alright, it's time for our discussion now.
Alright, Murabi Sahib. I know that Huzoor also mentioned a book from another religion, right?
Yeah, what was that about?
Well, that's a very, very important question. Huzoor basically mentioned that the famous book that the Hindus use, that is called the Vedas, does have good points. And he's mentioned this, right? And he mentioned the story of where the promised Messiah ﷺ spoke to many Hindus about this, right? So he told the Hindus, one famous name that Huzoor used was the famous Hindu scholar named Agnihotri. And this individual, right, used to claim that the Vedas is the only book that has guidance, right, in the world. Otherwise, all other books don't have anything. And the promised Messiah challenged him and told him that the Quran has all of the guidance that all other books can provide together, right? And it has mentioned it in the best possible way that it ever could be mentioned. And he told them constantly, he's like, bring forward anything that's missing in the Quran, right? And that other books may have mentioned that the Quran doesn't mention. But Huzoor mentioned that even though the Prophet Messiah constantly told people to do it, they were not able to do it, which shows that the Quran's teaching and guidance is the best possible one that can be provided.
Ah, so Huzoor mentioned the Vedas as a comparison.
Yeah, and it shows that the Quran gives something better, right?
Yes, that is right. And Huzoor even mentioned a story of how the Quran has made that claim and how Allah has done the kameel of his teachings.
Takmil? What in the world is that?
Well, I feel like we've reached a really important part of the show.
And you would be absolutely right, Monis, because to find out what that word means, that Monis, you've guessed absolutely correctly. But in order to find out that word, we're going to hand it over to our trusted presenter, Tashif, who's going to take it away with the word of the sermon.
Jazakallah, Rabbi Sahib. So brothers and sisters, we have a simple word here, but it has some big meanings. Because the word takmil is originally Arabic and comes from the root words ka, ma, la. This basically means when someone completes or perfects something to a level that cannot possibly be better. The word takmil specifically means the actual perfecting of a thing. Huzoor, may Allah be his helper, mentioned how with the revelation of the Holy Qur'an, Allah did takmil of his teachings. Before this, he gave teachings to different nations for different times, but with Islam, he provided the best possible teaching that humankind can have for its spiritual betterment. That is the teachings of the Holy Qur'an. Back to you guys.
Jazakallah ahsan al-jazat, Tashif. Very, very nicely explained. The word takmil, in fact, is the perfection of the Holy Qur'an.
So, Murab Sahib, isn't there a verse in the Holy Qur'an that talks about this perfection?
Perfectly asked question as well, Haris. So, beloved Huzoor, may Allah be his helper, mention one verse from the Holy Qur'an. This is from Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse number 4. Just towards the end, it's a long verse, but towards the end, Allah says the words, Al-Yawma Akmaltu Lakum Deenakum. That is, today I have perfected for you your religion. وَرَضِيتُ لَكُمُ الْإِسْلَامَ دِينًا, and have chosen for you as Islam your perfect faith. Basically, Huzoor said that in this verse, Allah himself is declaring that even though there were other religions and they had other teachings, and Allah himself had given them teachings, right? So it was Allah that guided those people in those different eras. But finally, ultimately, right, it is through Islam that He has given the best possible teaching that we can benefit from and we can understand to constantly keep growing.
So, was there like an example Huzoor gave about the Quranic teachings being very good?
Absolutely, Munis. Huzoor gave a very, very famous example, and we probably have already memorized that chapter of the Holy Qur'an. That is Surah Al-Ikhlas. That is chapter number 112 of the Holy Qur'an. You know, one of the most important subjects and topics in the discussion of religion, Islam, and God in general is the oneness of God. That is the unity, that God is just one being. He's not multiple people, He's not multiple persons in one God, He's not three in one, and He's not multiple gods, right? He's just a single being. And Surah Al-Ikhlas, which is Qul Huwallahu Ahad, describes it in such a beautiful way that it leaves no confusion, and it's just 3-4 small verses. The verses are, Qul, say, Huwallahu Ahad. He is Allah, Ahad, He is one. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. He himself does not have any children, nor can he himself be given birth to. So Allah is automatically saying that the being of Allah is free from humanity. He does not need to be born like humans are, and he does not die and need to have other people stay alive after him like his children. He is free from all of these things. And just at the last verse, Allah says, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. And there is absolutely nothing else that is like him in description or attribute. Very simple verse, 3 simple verses, 3-4, and this describes the idea of the oneness of God in such a complete way. Few words and big concept explained just like that.
But Murabbi Sahib, there were some very important things Huzoor talked about. It was about the persecution of Ahmadi Muslims, right?
That is very, very true, Monas, and it's a very, very important subject we have to discuss. But to find out more about that subject, we're going to take you and our dear audience to our next amazing segment, for which we take you all straight to the question of the sermon. Alright, dear audience, welcome to this incredible segment you know so well as the question of the sermon. In this particular segment, you sitting at home as well as our 2 amazing panelists are going to have 10 seconds to get the right answer to a weekly question. The question this week is, which country did Huzoor mention had their Jalsa Salana event attacked by anti-Ahmadi clerics? You have 4 options. Option number 1, Burkina Faso. Option number 2, Pakistan. Option number 3, India. And option number 4, Bangladesh. Your time starts now. And your time's up. Haris, what do you think?
I think it's Pakistan.
I also think it's number 2, Pakistan.
And your answers are absolutely incorrect, unfortunately. The right answer was actually number 4, Bangladesh. Because Pakistan has not had a Jalsa. We're not even allowed to do Jalsas there, right? Because of anti-Ahmadi laws. So Bangladesh was the country having their Jalsa and unfortunately was attacked by anti-Ahmadi criminals.
I know Huzoor described how anti-Ahmadis very badly hurt a young Ahmadi Muslim.
That is very correct, Haris. Huzoor mentioned that after the attacks that had happened in Bangladesh against the Ahmadis during the Jalsa, the anti-Ahmadis had attacked many Ahmadis at that time, and almost 50 were injured. But one particular person was so heavily injured, Huzoor mentioned his name, that was respected Zahid Hassan Sahib, Shaheed, who was only 26 years old. So he was a young person, he wasn't that old, right? And he ended up getting so badly injured that as a result of those severe injuries, they had ended up beating him so much that he ended up passing away as a result. And this individual Huzoor mentioned was very, very special. He had converted to the Jamaat almost 3-4 years ago, back in 2019. So he was a non-Ahmadi, he became an Ahmadi. And after becoming an Ahmadi, he was so dedicated that he decided to do wasiyat. He became a Musi, which means he decided to give 10% of his income to the Jamaat for the whole of his life. And as a result of his example, he was such a good human being. And because of his teachings, the way he preached the message of Islam, Ahmadiyyat, his parents, who were non-Ahmadis at that time, they decided to convert and become Ahmadis. So this is how special of a person that he was. And so Huzoor gave very beautiful mention of him and, prayed for him, that may Allah grant him a very high status in paradise.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
To Allah we belong, and to Him shall we return.
That's absolutely correct, Monis. Beloved Huzoor, may Allah be supported, mentioned a few other very important names. One of the people Huzoor mentioned was Kamal Bhada Sahib from Algeria, who was a very devoted Ahmadi. He recently passed away. Then there was the mention of Dr. Shamim Malik Sahiba. She actually used to live in Canada, was a very educated woman of the Jamaat. She had a PhD in her studies and also used to teach, but at the same time took very good care of her home as well. Her husband had actually been martyred in the Lahore attacks almost 13 years ago in Pakistan. And she had gone on living and doing such good service of the Jamaat even after she lost her husband. Then Huzoor mentioned the young Farhad Ahmad Sahib, who's from Germany. He was currently studying, and he was also about 25, 26, and he also passed away due to a heart attack. So Huzoor prayed about him. And finally, Huzoor mentioned another devoted Canadian Ahmadi, that was Chaudhry Javed Ahmad Bismil Sahib. He was a very devoted Ahmadi. He was actually the father of our national Sadr Sahib Khudamul Ahmadiyya in Canada. And Chaudhry Javed Sahib, I happen to have known him personally as well. He was an incredible individual, because for over 25 years, he was the main manager of all of the Jamaat's lands in Pakistan in Sindh. So the Jamaat had like thousands of acres of land. He was the main manager. And the stories about him are so beautiful. The way he used to defend that land, that people used to try to sometimes cause problems with the Jamaat, and the way he used to so bravely go and defend it. Huzoor mentioned that he really was a person that Huzoor knew personally as well, as a very devoted and brave defender of Islam Ahmadiyyat. May Allah elevate all of these passed away, deceased Ahmadis' status in paradise. Well, it's time for that important message of ours, so take it away.
Gotcha, Marab Sahib. So remember to watch the full khutbah.
And get back to us with the old critical message. Did you enjoy this week's Friday sermon for kids? Wanna know how you can make it even better? Tell us what you learned from beloved Huzoor's Friday sermon at FS4KIDS at MTA.tv. No later than every Sunday, and we'll try our best to include it in our show next week.
Now, we can't include all the videos you'll send every time, but you can see them all on our Instagram and Twitter at MTA Canada. Remember, at Friday Sermon for Kids, you're not just the audience, you make the show. See you next week.
Okay everyone, it's time once more for our little review of the sermon. As always, pay close attention.
Beloved Huzoor Ayyadallahu Ta'ala bin Nasrul Aziz started the sermon by saying that the teachings of the Holy Qur'an are the best among all the other books. He compared it with the famous Hindu books called the Vedas, which have some good teachings. But the Qur'an covers all sorts of guidance. The most important prayer it teaches us is guide us to the right path. That is Sirat-e-Mustaqim. But it doesn't just teach us the prayer. It gives us the way and the promise of the fulfillment of that prayer if we follow the guidance properly.
But along with that, Huzoor said how one of the verses of the Holy Qur'an exactly claims that Islam's teaching in the Holy Qur'an are the perfect ones. In Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 4, Allah tells us, "Today I have perfected for you your religion," meaning that He has done takmil for our religion. That means there is no possible way of getting a teaching that is in any way better than Islam and the Holy Qur'an. Many people wrongly say Hadith is higher than the Holy Qur'an, but the promised Messiah ﷺ explains that the Hadith should only be accepted when they agree with and explain the Holy Qur'an. They should not be accepted if they go against the Holy Qur'an.
Towards the end of the sermon, beloved Huzoor, may Allah be his helper, spoke of the tragic and horrible attack by some anti-Ahmadi criminals against the Jalsa Salana that the Jamaat Bangladesh was holding this year. These horrible people also ended up burning down houses of innocent Ahmadi Muslims and in their horrific attacks martyred a young, devoted Ahmadi Khadim named Zahid Hassan Sahib. Zahid Sahib had converted to Islam Ahmadiyya just a few years ago and was so dedicated that even his parents ended up becoming Ahmadi Muslims because of his example and preaching. Along with this, Huzoor talked about many other devoted Ahmadi Muslims who passed away, including Kamal Bada Sahib from Algeria, Dr. Shamim Malik Sahiba from Canada, Farhad Ahmad Sahib from Germany, and a long-term dedicated servant of the Jamaat named Chaudhry Javed Ahmad Bismil Sahib. May Allah elevate all of their status in paradise.
Ameen.
Now remember, these are just a few small narrations from the ocean of guidance that is Huzoor's Friday sermon, so
make sure to watch the full khutbah.
Until next week,
Khuda Hafiz.
मगर है शर्त तुम उससे मुसलसल राबता रखना इमाम वक्त से एक रिश्ता इश्क वफा रखना दिलों में प्यार की खुशबू तो होठों पर दुआ रखना इमाम वक्त से एक रिश्ता इश्क वफा रखना इमाम वक्त से एक रिश्ता इश्क वफा रखना